Hello and welcome to episode 19 of our Let's Play for Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. My name is Vormithrax, or Vorm, and I think this episode we should kick the excitement level up a notch or two and actually go on the offensive. I think it's time that we actually make an effort to clear out the town of zombies and any other baddies that are bothering us as we're trying to go about our peaceful looting runs. So we've got a pretty good supply of clothing, weapons, food, and I think we should take the fight to the enemy now and see what we can do to actually clear the town. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, so the sun will be coming up pretty soon, and that's what I want. I want to go ahead and go in during the daytime so we have good visual range on things and get a good idea when we might have a crowd gathering. So my goal is to check our equipment real quick, make sure we're fully outfitted and ready for the trip. We'll grab our cart and head on into town. I want to first hit that burnt building and make sure that we finish getting rid of all of the wasps. I want to finish those things off so I don't constantly have to deal with them. And then we'll kind of work our way south and east through the town, staying mainly to the street initially. We'll just kind of wander around and kill everything we can see that might bother us, and we'll see what kind of progress we make and what kind of zombies we find. There are still some combinations of special zombies that we want to be very careful of. I don't want to get overconfident, but I think we can handle most of the normal stuff, so let's get to it. So as usual, first thing we're going to do is check our inventory, and we've got our knife, spear, weapon held. We've got our Mossberg as our emergency backup in case something big and nasty shows up. I know in our cart we've got our submachine gun, so that will also help out in that eventuality. Got our throwing sticks, some more ammo, and I need to drop off the smoker. We don't need to take that with us, and probably don't need to take all of this food as well, and the charcoal. So a few things we're going to drop off here. So in our tools pile, I will tell it to drop off the smoker. I'm not going to need the MP3 player for now. And we'll drop the charcoal as well. And what else do we have? We're not full at the moment, so let's go ahead and look at here. Cooked meat, rotten, 4 units. So looks like some of our meat has spoiled, even the cooked version spoiled. So that's the timing thing I was talking about. We did quite a bit of training and ran through a day and a half or so of time while we were reading all those books and training up our various skills and crafting things. So some of our food has started to spoil. So I'm happy that we got the smoker up and running with our charcoal supply, so now we can start smoking the meat and it won't go bad. We still have 2 chunks of meat and a bunch of wild vegetables, so might be best if we use some time here before the sun comes up to do a little bit more cooking and see what we can get cooked and preserved real fast. So I am going to, let's go ahead and eat the scrambled eggs. Okay, so we're full. I also need to make sure I pick up a plastic bottle of water. I think all the plastic bottles are in that next pile down. And 2 plastic bottles, that should be enough. So we've picked those up, and what I'm going to do is do an unload command, and we'll tell it to unload the clean water into a container, plastic bottle, and then into a container again, plastic bottle. So we've got 2 plastic bottles, 2 units of water each, so that'll give us enough to sip on while we're out in the town. And we just emptied our gallon jug, so we do want to get that refreshed. So let's toss some distaff spindles that we built into the fire and light those up and get some cooking done. So we'll set this to number 4, that to number 7, and we'll put 4 of them in the fireplace. Then we'll activate our lighter, set that on fire, and let's get some cooking done. So go to our food category, and we are looking for recipes that are going to use some of the perishable food types. So curry with meat is going to take 1 chunk of meat. I know I've got 2 chunks that I need to get cooked up. This is providing really good nutrition and food, really high enjoyability, and 2 portions. So this is a pretty good recipe. I'm really liking this. It's got 5 days to rot, so we'll definitely get it eaten before that rots. So I think that's going to be a good choice. It takes 20 minutes to cook it up. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll use the tomato. It's a soup, or we've got to have a container for it. I'm already full. What kind of container do we have that we can put it in? Let's throw it into a glass jar. Alright, so we put the curry with meat hot into the glass jar. What else can we do here? Broth is a really important base staple food type. It's good to create and then have available. It's actually a subcomponent of other types of food, so it's always good to get some of that going. And water, my canned tomato, vegetables. So we've got plenty of things we can use to create this. How many units can we do? Now this will also require some kind of container to hold, so I'm not sure I've got enough liquid containers to make this a good idea. Let's take a look at a few other things first. Dehydrated vegetables. We do have a food dehydrator with 25 charges, and the charcoal smoker can also dehydrate vegetables, so maybe we should do this for our wild vegetables. That way they'll retain some nutritional value, but not have the problem with the perishable. What else we've got? Bone broth, another really good thing. Take a look at the 20 nutrition and 30 quench with a really high enjoyability factor. So 6 days it can hold. It's a really good thing to make. That's why I've been picking up the bones as we've been butchering animals. I think I'm just going to do some standard cooked meat for this last piece. Alright, so all of our meat has been cooked. What else do we have over here that we need to worry about? Not too concerned about most of that. Just the wild vegetables, really. I'd rather those not spoil. I'm not too concerned about the rest of it. So let's go ahead and dehydrate those vegetables. Or we can do cooked wild vegetables, 40 nutrition, but they rot in 2 days, so I think it's going to be better if we go ahead and dehydrate these. So let's do a batch, all 4. 44 minutes to complete for each, so yeah, that's going to be 3 hours in order to do all that. I don't want to let that much time go by. Cancel that. I still want to do it, I'm just not going to do it right now. 5:45 in the mornings, and I've got things I want to get done, so I think most of this food is going to take too long to make for what I'm willing to spend right now. How about, yeah, let's get some clean water. We've got our big container full of swamp water that we went down and gathered up, so let's grab that. We'll do 15 units, which is the amount that will fit into our gallon jug, and then we'll pour that into a container, gallon jug. Alright, so I think that's all we'll do for the prep. Well, looks like that cooked meat went old as well. Now, it's not rotten yet. We can still eat it. It's not as good, but we're full at the moment. That's fine. If it goes bad, not that big a deal. We will need to do another hunting run, though, and get some more meat preserved here pretty soon. So probably when we get back from this trip. Alright, we've got our medical supplies, bandages in case we start bleeding. We've got some disinfectant material. I'm actually going to drop one of those onto our medical pile. I shouldn't need more than a few doses at a time. And the syringe of adrenaline could be useful if we need to outrun something. And got the aspirin if we get pain. Alright, I think we're good there. So we know we've got our weapons, we've got our tools in our cart. Okay, I just want to take one last look at a few choices here. I'm looking at what we can now create. So you can see we have a copper spear option. So this is important. So currently we're using a knife spear, and You can see here the copper spear. It's basically an upgraded version, so it still provides the reach attack, so that's the most important thing I want to retain. I want to be able to poke zombies from range, but it's got 5 and 16, so 5, 16 plus 1. If I go down to the knife spear, it's 4, 16 plus 1, so it adds 1 point of damage. Really not that much. It's going to have better durability, but we haven't had a problem with our knife spear breaking yet. I think I'll hold off on doing that upgrade. Ranged, we've got some additional options now because we raised our mechanics and fabrication skills, but nothing in there I'm going to worry about. I don't want to make a grenade. It uses too many raw materials that I want to use for other things. We could put a suppressor on a pistol, rifle, or submachine gun. And it has these effects, so this is a weapon mod, and the different weapons have slots for mods, and you can only put so many and certain types on certain weapons. It mentions here what it does. You can pause the video if you want to read through it, and you can see here the stat differentials. I haven't really gone into details explaining how guns work and what the various things mean. We'll probably cover that in another couple of episodes. For now, we're just going to roll with the basic weaponry, and you'll kind of see how it works if I have to pull one out. But I do still generally try to avoid using them unless it's a pretty controlled environment or situation where I'm confident I know what the sound that it's going to make is going to draw towards me. We might unlimber some weapons here as we go try to clear the town. If we're pretty confident we're okay, not get a crowd. So we'll see. But we do have some pretty limited ammo, and that's pretty precious right now. So until we get a much better supply, I'm going to be pretty frugal with my ammo use. Alright, so don't need any magazines or other ammo. It's mostly going to concern currently bolts and spears and arrows, which we're not using too much of. Chems, not going to need any of that. Not using any of this at the moment. We do need to work on getting a welding tool put together. I'm holding off on that because with the welding tool you also need welding goggles, and that's what I can't make at the moment. I can actually build a makeshift welder, but it's useless without goggles to protect your eyes. You can't use it without having the welding goggles. So as soon as I get the materials to get the welding goggles put together or find a pair, then we'll look into that side. Armor got pretty large list now, so we'll probably revisit this here shortly. Not this trip, but I just wanted to jump through the options real quick, see if anything jumped out at me as something I need right now. I think we're good there. And under tools, quite the list available now. We can make splints and first aid kits. Alright, I think we're pretty much good to go. So, we're going to leave the rest of that. We're going to grab our cart. And the sun has come up. It's 6 a.m. Checking our map, what we're going to do is, as previously, we're just going to come straight across and then down. Take a look at the burnt out building and any wasps' nests that have survived that area. It is daylight, so the zombies and other animals and monsters are going to have much longer sight range to us, so we want to be a little cautious in our movement, but I'm fairly sure we've cleared out most of what could be dangerous up in this northern section of town, between the minefield, the turrets below the fire station, the house we set on fire. There's been so much activity that I think the combination of those plus what we've killed so far has done a pretty good job of clearing this section. Now I'm still avoiding the power substation. We'll deal with the types of special zombies in there eventually, but I don't want to deal with them quite yet. So we're going to come across, check that out, and then I'm probably going to just work my way possibly down this road and clear out this side of town. I still do want to get over to here. We left some items in one of the grocery stores, as well as we've got 2 veterinary clinics that have opportunities for some medicine and a stethoscope that we can use to open safes. So we got a few targets. We'll see what we can get accomplished. Alright, so out we go. Turn off safe mode, zoom our view out so we can see what's going on. And as usual, I'm watching the screen here to see what's around me, and as soon as something new pops on there, I will stop moving. Alright, so we do have a giant wasp in view. Where is he at? He's way down south, so we'll leave him alone for the moment, and a hazmat zombie in towards town. We're gonna go pretty much on the offensive. Any solo zombies that are the lower level without special abilities, I'm just gonna charge right at them, and we're gonna kill them. Alright, zoom in a bit so you can see what's going on here. I'm gonna let go of the cart. We're gonna let him come a little closer, and then we'll play our stab and back up game. And what does it got? Got a good cash card, got a wrapped radiation badge, also useful. The clean suit would be good, and the rubber boots and gloves would be really especially useful for the circumstance where we run into acid monsters, and that is a possibility as we head into this town. Unfortunately, I still have not found any soap to use to clean these things with, so we're just going to leave all that there. We are going to smash the corpse, grab our cart, and keep moving. So, there's a fat zombie on the radar. He's just right inside that car. He's been smashing his way through the car, looks like. He's 48 due south. We'll get his attention here pretty soon. This is a street cleaner vehicle. Oh, actually, it's a road roller. So, not going to be too much we can use in here. It's got some seat belts, apparently. Floor trunk. The rest of it, not too useful. We'll just leave that alone. Nothing special or interesting there. Alright, so moving south. Actually, zoom the view back out again. Alright, which vehicle do we have here? A pickup truck. It's got no gas tank, apparently. Not in the best shape. Yeah, not gonna worry about that. So that fat zombie has gotten... Oh, hello! Alright, thing I want to point out, I just noticed as I was moving the screen around, I saw something move right there. A shocker brute. That is something we gotta be really careful about. So it says Shocker Brute, lightly injured, a huge beast covered in visible scarring from what you can only guess was research. Being near it, you can hear a slight humming like that of an electrical transformer. Oh boy, that is a little bigger than I was expecting to try to face. He can be pretty dangerous. He's a brute, so he's hulked out. He's not full-on zombie Hulk status strength-wise, but he's an upgraded monster. You can see he's a pretty big character sprite or graphic, and I'll show you him in detail here in just a second. We've got this guy here as well, which I'm not worried about, the fat zombie. But let's take a look. Alright, we've got 4 zombies in our sight range, and they are all spotting something. So I think they've all spotted me, actually. So there's a feral runner in the middle of that rubble pile, a hazmat zombie in the middle of the pile, the shocker brute, and the giant wasp. Alright, so the feral runner is basically an undead dog. He's pretty quick, but not too dangerous otherwise. But if you ran out of stamina and couldn't swing your weapons, they can be very dangerous. Hazmat zombie's no big deal. So it's the shocker brute that I'm primarily worried about. We have to think carefully how we're going to deal with this. Now currently, he's in the middle of a rubble field. It's going to be really slow for him to get out of this, because he's got to clamber over all these rubble pieces to get to us. And it's actually doing him some damage as he's falling down amid the rubble. So he might take a fair amount of damage just trying to get out of the rubble field if he comes straight at us. So we're going to have plenty of time, I think. We'll gauge it here in a second, but I think we'll have time to take care of this fat zombie. The hazmat zombie and the feral runner are closer to the edge, so we can probably take care of those as well. So I think I'm just going to kind of park myself here in the open, kind of watch the progress of these guys move as I kill this fat zombie, and then we'll kind of make a decision from there. So let's zoom in a bit. Get out of that screen and then zoom in a bit. I'm going to press X to unlock the cursor. And there he is in all his glory. So he's a roided out, electrified zombie. So that is pretty dangerous. His big danger, other than his raw power, when he gets into hand-to-hand range, he's going to hit us really hard. His other power is he can throw shock bolts. So he can throw them a pretty fair distance. I think about, I want to say 6 or so squares, 6 or 8 squares maybe. And they can stun you, they give you a whole bunch of pain when you get shocked. Just nasty, nasty business. So if he starts tossing those at you and then gets on top of you and starts pummeling you, you can get killed really quickly. So I prefer to find an environmental advantage to take care of the things, and or kill him from range. That's where the hunting rifle and things like that would come into play. We'd be able to shoot him from longer range and kill him before he could get on us. So I'm not really looking forward to trying to hand-to-hand that kind of thing. They're pretty fast and really powerful, and just poking it with my knife spear and backing up is not a viable strategy for that kind of a critter, especially when you add in the shock bolts that he can toss out. So he is by far the most dangerous thing we have seen so far in our playthrough. So we've got to consider carefully how to deal with that. Now, we do have a minefield somewhat nearby. It's a possibility we could lure him into the minefield and see if that would take care of the problem for us. We've got a wasp over there in that area that we've got to worry about as well, so I don't want to get tangling a wasp and get poisoned and pained and so on before the shocker brute arrives. So this is where the tactical part of the gameplay comes in, and what makes the game really interesting is you get so many variations of situations and circumstances in regards to your terrain, your gear, your character style, and so on, that it makes things very, very entertaining once you get at least familiar enough with the gameplay and how it works to experience this part of it. So, back to our character. Alright, so how are we going to do this? You can see on the mini-map glowing red dots for the enemies. They kind of pulse on and off. So I'm just going to kind of pay attention to that on the side as I go deal with this fat zombie first. So we're going to move over to meet him. And I'm kind of watching those dots over there to see what kind of progress they make through that rubble. And the possibility is, depending on how quickly they move, I might move to the north end of it, have them come towards me, then I'll move around to the south end and see if I can just lure them back and forth across the rubble. They're pretty stupid, so that is a possibility, and if they're taking a decent amount of damage, that might be the best way to get rid of that shocker brute. Just force them to keep clambering back and forth over the rubble trying to get to me. So we'll see how that works here shortly. Alright, so let's take care of this fat zombie first, though. He shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll use the same methods we have previously. Alright, no big deal. Got a head torch that we can unload. That's basically a light with a strap on it that fits over your head, so it's a good thing to have, but we've got a flashlight, so nothing I'm too excited about. We'll go ahead and unload it, though, for the batteries, and then smash the corpse. Alright, so how kind of progress are those guys making getting through the rubble? Now, as I was saying, this guy, he's already almost caught up to these guys, so, and he has not taken any additional category of damage, so he's not taking nearly enough for me to try to use that rubble to do him any harm. It's possible he just took that damage from the fire or from a wasp attack or things like that, so this is going to be a problem. We definitely want to reconsider how we're going to deal with this guy. I think I'm going to go to run mode. We're going to head into this building to break the line of sight and then head south and try to clear the minefield area, and then we'll see about luring this guy back to us. So let's close the door. That breaks the line of sight, so he can't see us anymore. He's going to still come this direction a bit, but we're going to go out the back and then head south. So all part of the tactics that I was talking about. So we'll close both doors, turn off run mode now, and I can see the red pulsing dot down here. That's probably that wasp. We should go take care of that and then think about how we can use that minefield. Now, the minefield's kind of a hit or miss solution because it's possible he'll traipse right through the minefield and not hit a single mine. There's been quite a few explosions of other zombies, so this may or may not be useful. Let's hit X and take a look here. I think I'm in visual sight of these guys. Yeah, the runner is coming at me pretty quickly, so he's going to outdistance the others. He's breaking his way through the car, and I can't quite see anything else on the edge of that screen. Alright, I'm going to keep coming south. The giant wasp misses the tough zombie. Alright, so the giant wasp and a tough zombie are going at it, probably right down there. Let's detach our view and go take a look. There's the edge of the minefield, so yeah. So, Wasp and a tough zombie are going at it. Tough zombie's heavily injured, Wasp is moderately injured. There's also a hazmat zombie here. Alright, they're pretty deep into the minefield. We're gonna work our way that direction, but I'm gonna stay on the outside edge of the minefield. Zoom out, so we got... Oh, there's two wasps. There's one closer to us here, so we're gonna have to deal with it. Alright, let's detach from the shopping cart, let him come at us. And this is the danger of wasps. If you take a look here, we've already had our pants ripped, our underwear bottom ripped. He hit us in the leg and poisoned us. He hit us in the right leg and poisoned us. We're at pain 9 already. This is why I hate wasps. Another piece of our leg. Alright, we got him, but I mean, look at the damage. He did us hit point damage, he tore up our clothes really quickly, he poisoned us a couple of times, we're at high pain value already. So, we're gonna eat some aspirin. Alright, this is why I'm desperately trying to get rid of these wasp nests. They're just a really serious pain, and if you let too many of them in the area, you can get killed pretty quickly, and they're really tough on clothes. Take a look at our inventory. He almost destroyed our pants completely. That's one wasp in just a few attacks. Just chewed through our clothing like that. Alright, but that wasp is down, so there's still another giant wasp on the screen. Let's grab that. Start moving south, and you can see our stats are in red. That's because they've been lowered due to the pain and the poisoning that we've suffered. Alright, that's the north edge of the minefield. And the wasp is flying. He's not going to be affected by the mines. So let's see if we can lure him out and finish him off. Alright, let go of that. Let's try a throwing stick. Grazing hit for 2. I mean, it smashes right through multiple layers. He damaged our hood and our balaclava in one swing. Have I mentioned I hate wasps? I really hate wasps. Alright. He's dead. Pain went back up again. We take a look at our status. We're poisoned, which is from the wasp sting. We're warm, so the weather has apparently warmed up a bit, and it's during the daytime, spring, so we want to pay attention to that. It's causing a little bit of a negative consequence. Unhappy, we're on painkillers, and in pain. So nothing too bad. The pain will disappear with our painkillers in effect, and the poison will wear off in a short bit. So at the moment, I just don't want to get hit by anything else too nasty in the near term. Alright. I would also love to go finish off these stupid zombie corpses that keep getting back up again and wandering around in our minefield. So let's take a look here. Pulped, so those zombies are not going to be getting back up again. I'm still not really excited about trying to move into the minefield, so let's head north a bit. Whoops, let's go grab our cart again. Alright, Shocker Brute is in sight, Hazmat's in sight, so let's take a look here. Neither one of them can see us, so earlier we broke the line of sight. You can see the Shocker Brute made it most of the way across the street towards that office building before he lost interest in us, so I just really don't want to deal with him mano a mano. He's also fast enough that trying to lead him into the minefield is pretty dangerous. I think what we'll do is I'm going to call the episode here. let's head back to our base real quick since we're close. We know that guy's over there. I'm going to... Actually, let's butcher these corpses, grab the meat. And let's get this other one here. Alright, that could get us some fresh meat that we can cook up and smoke, so at least we got something out of the wasps. And you can see that our pain is dropping fairly quickly. Black rat corpse. Nah, it's rotten already. It's too old. So we'll just keep heading north. And a couple of dogs. Do you guys want to play? Hard to hit these guys. And one shot did it. Butcher. Yeah, we'll stop butchering. He saw me hit his friend. He's coming to play as well. Uh-oh, I forgot to pick up my throwing stick earlier. Ah, stupid dog. Alright, we damaged the other dog enough that he's retreating. He's going to run away. So he may or may not come back towards us. Alright, pain's dropped down to 15. What is that, a raccoon? Alright, raccoon. You want to donate yourself? I will happily accept your meat. Alright, so move up here and go to the food, smoked meat, all three. That takes some time. Okay, we're very thirsty. Let's go back to our gallon jug of water for some clean water. Alright, we're slaked, and I'm going to go ahead and eat this old meat before it goes completely bad. Get some benefit out of it. And we'll also eat the last of our deluxe scrambled eggs. Alright, so we're full and slaked. Pain is just about gone away. Check our condition. The poisoning has already disappeared. So wasp poisoning's not too bad. It doesn't last all that long. So that's why I was willing to take the chance and go kill those. Alright, so we're looking okay there. I'm going to call the episode here. We're going to make another trip back over to the town, and I do want to see if we can take care of that shocker brute. I think it'll be a good lesson. We're pretty deep into our tutorial now. I've gotten most of the early game topics discussed, so if we die, we die, but it'll be a good experience, and you'll know one of the things to really avoid or learn how to take care of when we make the attempt. So, as usual, I appreciate you watching the episodes, and hopefully you're taking a look at the whole series. If you enjoy what I'm providing for you, please do hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll continue to bring you some more content. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.